in the region between the capacitor plates is given by E naught is equal to V naught by D. Okay, here E naught is the external electric field which is applied to the parallel plate capacitor. So due to the application of the external electric field, what happens? The voltage develops from V to V naught. So and D is the distance between the two capacitor plates. So the dielectric field E naught in the region between the capacitor plates is given by E naught is equal to V naught by D, which is shown in figure 4a. So this one. Okay, so E naught is the electric field in the region between the capacitor plates and is given by E naught is equal to V naught by D. From the Gauss law, epsilon naught times the flux of the electric field through a closed surface is equal to the algebraic sum of the charges enclosed by the surface. So this is Gauss law. Okay, according to Gauss law, the net charge enclosed within a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed within the surface, and that can be written as epsilon naught integral E dot ds is equal to Q naught. Okay, Gauss law is, from the Gauss law, epsilon naught times the flux of the electric field through a closed surface is equal to the algebraic sum of the charges enclosed by the surface. How many number of charges are enclosed by the Gaussian surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed within the surface, and that can be written as actually integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught times and rastaru. So this is no problem. Epsilon naught integral E dot modified epsilon naught integral E dot ds is equal to Q naught. So that is epsilon naught E dot ds. ds is the surface area. Okay, so E is constant throughout the surface. Throughout the surface, E is constant. So E into integral ds. Integral ds means that is S. S is the surface area of the capacitor plate. So then that is A, capital A. Okay, then epsilon naught, here E naught is the electric field, total electric field which is applied to the region, that is epsilon naught into E naught, epsilon naught E naught A, that is equal to Q naught. So therefore E naught is equal to Q naught by epsilon naught A. Okay, E naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Okay, Q naught by A, that is sigma. Sigma is the surface charge density, Q by A. So here the total charge is Q naught. So sigma E naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Is it clear? So here sigma is the surface charge density. Okay, therefore from Gauss law, E naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, where sigma is the surface charge density on either plate. Okay, when a dielectric is introduced between the plates, which is shown in previous figure, there is a decrease in the potential difference from V naught to V, which implies a decrease in the field strength from E naught to E. Okay, so the decrease in the field strength is due to the induced charges on the surface of the dielectric as shown in the figure 4b. Okay, so whenever a dielectric is introduced between the plates, what happens? There is a decrease in potential difference from V naught to V, which implies a decrease in the field strength. So due to the decrease of potential, the field strength is also decreases from E naught to E. So the decrease in the field strength is due to the induced charges, presence of induced charges on the surfaces of the dielectric. So see this figure. So what happens in such a parallel plate capacitor? So a dielectric is introduced between the capacitor plates. Okay, so then due to the here a dielectric slab or dielectric material is introduced, placed in between. So therefore, due to the external electric field here, due to the application of external electric field here, the charges gets separated. Induced charges present on either sides of the slab dielectric material. So see this. These are the negative charges are accumulated on one side of the dielectric, and positive charges are accumulated on either side of the slab. Okay, here EI is the induced electric field. Okay, here EI is the induced electric field. Okay, here E naught is the external field. Okay, E naught is the total electric field. So here, due to the presence of the slab here, the voltage drops from V naught to V. So as well as the electric field strength also decreases from E naught to E due to the presence of the dielectric slab in between the two capacitor plates. The negative charge is induced by the electric field on the dielectric surface adjacent to the positively charged capacitor plate, while the positive charge of equal magnitude is induced on the dielectric surface adjacent to the negatively charged capacitor plate. Thus, the action of the electric field on a dielectric is to induce charges on its surface. When charges of opposite polarity are induced on the surfaces of a dielectric, the dielectric is said to be polarized. The induced charges on the dielectric give rise to an induced electric field EI. Which opposes the external field E naught. Therefore, the net electric field E in the dielectric has a magnitude given by E is equal to E naught minus EI. Okay, let sigma P be the induced surface charge density. This charge density sigma P nullifies the effect of a part of the free charge density sigma present on the capacitor plates. So see the figure. So here, see this one. So due to the placing of a dielectric slab in between the two capacitor plates, here the negative charges. So dielectric means positive and negative charges both are coincide with each other. Okay, whenever it is placed in the external field, then what happens? These two charges get separated. Okay, it means gets polarized. That is dipole arised within the material. So electric dipole means two equal and opposite charges are separated by a fixed distance. Okay, here due to the application of an electric field, external electric field, that is E naught. Okay, so here the negative charges in the dielectric slab are attracted towards the positive charges on the capacitor plate, as well as the positive charges gets attracted towards the negative charges on the capacitor plate. Okay, so then due to that means here the material is said to be polarized. Okay, so then due to the separation of the two charges, here the electric field induces within the material. So that is called induced electric field EI. Okay, here the electric field direction is represented from positive to negative direction. So positive to negative ante these are the positive charges, these are the negative charges. So the direction is like this, in this direction EI. Whereas the external field is the external field direction, the positive to negative means in this direction. Okay, E naught is the external field. Okay, here so ikkada ee negative charges are attracted towards the positive charges, as well as the positive charges within the slab attracted towards the negative charges of the capacitor plate. Okay, so here induced electric field is in this direction due to the induced charges within the slab. Here electric field is induces within the material, and that electric field is called induced electric field, and this induced electric field is in this direction. Okay, so here sigma p be the surface charge density, induced surface charge density. This sigma p is due to this electric field, whereas sigma is the surface charge density. This is due to this electric field. Okay, here E naught and EI both are in opposite direction. See this, E naught and EI both are in opposite direction. So therefore the net electric field can be written as E is equal to, here see this, so the net electric field E in the dielectric has a magnitude and is given by, so the net electric field can be written as E is equal to E naught minus EI. E naught is the external electric field. So EI is the induced electric field. Both are in opposite direction. So then E is equal to E naught minus EI. And sigma P be the induced surface charge density. This charge density sigma P nullifies the effect of a part of the free charge density sigma present on the capacitor plates. Okay, this sigma P, which is due to the induced electric field, nullifies the surface charge density which is present on the capacitor plates. Okay, the induced electric field EI is related to the induced surface charge density sigma P through the relation, that is EI is equal to sigma P by epsilon naught. Okay, this is the relation between the induced electric field and the surface charge density, that is EI is equal to sigma P by epsilon naught. That is nothing but sigma P means sigma P is equal to Q by A. Okay, so that can be written as like this, EI is equal to sigma P by epsilon naught. So the net surface charge density that contributes to the net electric field E within the dielectric is sigma minus sigma P. Okay, this is the net surface charge density. Therefore the net surface charge density that contributes to the net electric field E within the dielectric is sigma minus sigma P. Okay, sigma minus sigma P. Then applying Gauss theorem we get, then applying Gauss theorem E is equal to sigma minus sigma P by epsilon naught. Okay, that is Q by epsilon naught kada, so that can be written sigma by epsilon naught kada. So then here the net surface charge density is sigma minus sigma P. So therefore E is equal to sigma minus sigma P by epsilon naught. Okay, so then we know that epsilon R is the dielectric constant or relative permittivity, that is epsilon R is equal to E naught by E. Hence E is equal to, so from this equation E is equal to and E is equal to E naught by epsilon R, that is equal to, so here E is equal to E naught by epsilon R. Therefore E naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. E naught is sigma by epsilon naught into 1 by epsilon R. Already from Gauss law ఇక్కడ రాసాం కదా. This one, E naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So therefore, from Gauss theorem, E naught value is sigma by epsilon naught, then substituting this E. Sigma by epsilon naught into 1 by epsilon r. Therefore, E is equal to sigma by epsilon r. What is epsilon naught epsilon r? That is relative permittivity. That is epsilon. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r. So then therefore E is equal to sigma by epsilon. So E epsilon naught epsilon r के बदले E epsilon substitute చేసుకుంటే then epsilon naught E is equal to sigma by epsilon. Equating the expressions for E from 9 and 10. Equating these two equations, then you will get E 9 and 10. So equating these two, that is sigma minus sigma p by epsilon naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught epsilon r. Okay, equating these two equations 9 and 10. Sigma minus sigma p by epsilon naught is equal to sigma by epsilon naught epsilon r. Therefore, sigma p is equal to, so sigma minus sigma by epsilon r. So epsilon naught cancel అయిపోతే then sigma p is equal to sigma minus sigma by epsilon r. That is nothing but ఈ రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఉన్నది తీసుకొచ్చేసాం అనుకోండి, సిగ్మా మైనస్ సిగ్మా బై ఎప్సిలాన్ ఆర్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఈ సిగ్మా పీ వస్తే దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వేషన్. ఓకే, ఈక్వేటింగ్ ఆన్ బోత్ సైడ్స్. దెన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ సిగ్మా పీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సిగ్మా మైనస్ సిగ్మా బై ఎప్సిలాన్ ఆర్. therefore sigma p is equal to, so this is the term sigma is there, so దీని కామన్ తీస్తే కామన్ sigma into 1 minus 1 by epsilon r. Okay, so because epsilon r is much greater than 1, for most of the materials here dielectric constant is greater than 1, then we have sigma p is less than sigma p less than sigma. So for dielectrics which large values of epsilon r, sigma p is nearly equal to sigma. So the presence of the polarization charge diminishes the field E within the dielectric. Hence E is very much less than E naught. Okay, means here the presence of the polarization charge diminishes the field E within the dielectric. Hence E is very much less than E naught. So the electric, from this it is clear that due to the presence of the dielectric slab within the material, induced charges are the charges are induced within the dielectric material. So due to induced charges presence in the dielectric material, electric field induces, that is EI, and that electric field is very much less than E naught. Okay, that is about induced charges. Now coming to dielectric polarization or polarization. Dielectric polarization or polarization. So see this, when a dielectric is placed in an electric field, the positive charges in the dielectric are displaced in the direction of the field, while the negative charges are displaced in the opposite direction. This displacement of charges produces local dipoles through the dielectric, which is shown in figure 4c. This process of producing local dipoles by an electric field is called polarization and is denoted by the term P. In dielectrics, the induced local dipoles have dipole moments. Polarization, therefore, is the process of inducing dipole moments in a medium by an applied electric field. Okay, so here polarization means when a dielectric material is placed in an electric field, external electric field. So this is the electric field, external electric field E naught. So here, these two are the capacitor plates. Okay, so here the external electric field direction is from positive to negative like this. Okay. When a dielectric is placed in an external electric field, the positive charges in the dielectric are displaced in the direction of the field. Okay, the positive charges here, these are the positive charges. Positive charges displaced in the direction of the electric field, applied electric field, while the negative charges are displaced in the opposite direction. So the negative charges are displaced in the opposite direction. This displacement of charges produces local dipoles. Okay, here two charges gets separated by a fixed distance. So these two charges gets separated means these two here the dipoles here, these two charges are gets separated by a fixed distance, means here it constitute an electric dipole. Okay, like this one. So this each atom or molecule, whatever it may be, constitute an electric dipole. So opposite direction. This displacement of charges produces local dipoles throughout the dielectric. This process of producing local dipoles by an electric field is called polarization in the dielectric. So the induced local dipoles have dipole moments. So each dipole, each one acting as a dipole. This is a dipole, this is a dipole, this is a dipole, this is a dipole, like this. Okay, so then here each dipole constitute electric dipole moment. What is electric dipole moment? Electric dipole moment is the product of the either of the charge and the displacement between the two charges. That is called electric dipole moment. Okay, each dipole constitute an electric dipole moment. So the polarization is therefore the process of inducing dipole moments in a medium by an application of the electric field. What is polarization here? Polarization is the process of inducing dipole moments, electric dipole moments within the material or within the medium due to the application of the external electric field. That is called polarization. Then coming to polarizability. So the strength of the induced dipole moment mu is found to be proportional to the strength of the electric field. Okay, here the strength of the dipole moment mu is proportional to the strength of the electric field E. That is mu is directly proportional to E. Okay, here mu is the electric dipole moment. Here mu depends on the application of the external electric field. That is mu is directly proportional to E. If E increases, then the dipole moment also increases. So mu is directly proportional to E. So therefore mu is equal to alpha into E. Here alpha is called the proportionality constant, where alpha is the constant of proportionality, called the dielectric polarizability. So here alpha is called dielectric polarizability. Dielectric polarization, so here electric polarization represented by the term P. Dielectric polarization, so this is the definition. Polarization P is a vector and is defined as the net dipole moment per unit volume. Okay, here polarization is a vector quantity and it is defined as the net dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric. Okay, if mu is the average dipole moment in a unit volume and n is the number of molecules per unit volume, then the dielectric polarization P can be written as, okay, here mu is the dipole moment, average dipole moment in a unit volume, and n is the number of molecules. Suppose here, if you consider a particular material, dielectric material, there are n number of molecules are present within the material per unit volume. Then the dielectric polarization P can be written as P is equal to n into mu. Okay, it can be written as polarization P is equal to n into mu. So here, we know that mu is directly proportional to E. Mu is equal to alpha E, where alpha is the dielectric polarizability. Therefore, P is equal to, substituting this alpha E, n into alpha E. Okay, P is equal to n into alpha E. Okay, clear? So here, the induced dipole moment. Okay, chudandi, why the dipole arised within the material or within the molecule means here, in the absence of external electric field, both the positive and negative charges within the molecule are gets coincide with each other. Okay, due to the application of the external electric field, here what happens? The two charges get separated. Positive and negative charges get separated. Then a dipole arises within that molecule. So each dipole having electric dipole moment, that is mu. So here the strength of the electric dipole moment, here the strength of the electric dipole moment depends on the strength of the external electric field. Okay, strength of the dipole moment depends on the strength of the external electric field. So that is this one. The strength of the induced dipole moment mu is found to be proportional to the strength of the electric field. If the electric field E increases, you are increasing this electric field E, then the induced dipole moment also increases. So that is mu is directly proportional to E. Okay, and this can be written as mu is equal to alpha E, where alpha is called the proportionality constant and it is called dielectric polarizability. So the dielectric polarizability is defined as the polarization vector, the polarization P is a vector quantity and it is defined as the net dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric. It is defined as the net dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric. And if mu is the average dipole moment in a unit volume of the material and n is the number of molecules present in the material per unit volume, then the dielectric polarization P can be written as P is equal to n into mu. Dielectric polarization can be written as P is equal to n into mu. When mu is equal to alpha E, then you will substitute this value. You will get P is equal to n into alpha E. This is polarization. Okay, dielectric. This is the relation for dielectric polarization. That is P is equal to n into alpha E, where n is the number of molecules present per unit volume of the material. Alpha is the proportionality constant, that is called dielectric polarizability, and E is the electric field strength. Okay, now coming to dielectric susceptibility. So also polarization P is directly proportional to the intensity of the electric field E and is in the same direction of E. Okay, so here the polarization P is directly proportional to the intensity of the electric field. So strength of the electric field means intensity of the electric field. Okay, and is in the same direction of E, and it is in the same direction of the electric field, that is P is directly proportional to E. So P is equal to epsilon naught xi into E, where the constant xi is called the dielectric susceptibility and is a characteristic property of every dielectric. X characterizes the ease with which a dielectric material can be influenced by an electric field or not. It is the polarization per unit electric field, and that can be written as xi is equal to P by epsilon naught E. Xi is equal to P by epsilon naught E, and xi is called the dielectric susceptibility, and dielectric susceptibility depends on the intensity of the electric field. Okay, polarization is polarization is equal to the surface charge density of the induced charges. So the polarization is equal to the surface charge density of the induced charges. So for that, to prove this one, consider the figure 4c, in which a dielectric slab is introduced into a capacitor to which an electric field E0 is applied. The slab is imagined to be divided into a large number of identical cells. Under the action of the electric field, charges of opposite sign are induced in each cell, and each cell acquires a dipole moment. So see this figure 4c. Okay. So in this figure, which a dielectric slab is introduced into capacitor, into a parallel plate capacitor, which an electric field E0 is applied. So here the slab is imagined to be divided into a large number of identical cells. Here the slab is divided into large number of identical cells. Under the action of the electric field, charges of opposite sign are induced in each cell, and each cell acquires a dipole moment. Okay, see this figure. Here a dielectric slab which is placed in between the parallel plate capacitor of applying an electric field E0. Okay, here let us imagine that here the slab is divided into identical unit cells of this one. So here the negative charges are gets attracted towards the positive charges of the capacitor plate, as well as the positive charges within the molecules are gets attracted towards the negative charges of the capacitor plate. Okay, like this. Okay, so here sigma is the surface charge density of the parallel plate capacitor, and sigma p is the induced charge density, surface charge density, due to the polarization of the material. Okay, the charges induced in each cell are bound charges and are not free to migrate through the dielectrode. Okay, actually in conducting material, in the outermost cell there are free charges, free electrons. Those are moving within the material. So those are responsible for conductivity. But here in insulator, due to the application of the electric field here, the charges gets separated by a fixed distance. So here there is a, these two charges are gets separated. But here these charges, the negative charges are bound charges, not the free charges. Okay, and are not free to migrate through the dielectric. So the bound charges on the walls of the adjacent cells cancel throughout, leaving the charges on the opposite faces of the dielectric slab. So therefore, no net charge exists in any volume element located in the interior of the slab. Thus, it is clear from figure 4b that the charge remains on the layer nearest to the boundary of the slab and contributes to the polarization charge of the surface charge density sigma p. So, the polarized dielectric is thus equivalent to a big dipole of the equal and opposite induced charges separated by a distance d, which is the thickness of the slab. So the dipole moment of the entire slab is given by mu is equal to A into sigma p into d, where A is the surface area of the slab. Therefore, mu is equal to sigma p into d. So A into d, that is volume of the slab, that is V. So sigma p into V, where V is the volume of the slab, that is AD. But here P is equal to mu by V, dipole moment per unit volume. Okay, P is equal to dipole moment polarization. Here P is the polarization, P is equal to mu by V, dipole moment per unit volume. Therefore, P is equal to sigma P V by V. Then V cancel అయిపోతే P is equal to sigma P. Thus, polarization is equal to the surface charge density of the induced charges. Thus, polarization is equal to the surface charge density of induced charges in a dielectric. So, therefore, polarization in a dielectric is a vector directed from negative induced charge to positive induced charge. Therefore, polarization in a dielectric is a vector quantity and it is directed from negative induced charge to positive induced charge. It produces in the dielectric a field EI. So, polarization produces an internal electric field, that is EI, which is opposite in direction to the external field and therefore weakens it. So this due to the polarization, here the electric field induces, that is called induced electric field, and this induced electric field is opposite in the direction of the external field and which opposes the external electric field and it weakens the external electric field. ఏం ఈక్వేషన్స్ అమ్మా? ఈ ఈక్వేషన్స్ మళ్ళీ చెప్పనా? అర్థం కాలేదు నాకు. ఈ ఈక్వేషన్స్ మళ్ళీ చెప్పనా? ఓకే రైట్, చెప్తా. ఇంకొకళ్ళు ఏంటమ్మా? సో why positive charges are displaced in the direction of the electric field. Okay, సో చూడండి అమ్మా, సో ఇది ఫస్ట్ కెళ్ళాం. ఓకే, సో ఇది చూడండి డయాగ్రామ్. ఇక్కడ ఒక డిసి వోల్టేజ్ ని మనం అప్లై చేసాం. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఒక డిసి సోర్స్ బ్యాటరీనో ఏదో కనెక్ట్ చేసాం. సో కనెక్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది? ఇక్కడ వోల్టేజ్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనం ఇక్కడ సోర్స్ ని అప్లై చేస్తున్నామో దెన్ కరెంట్ పాసెస్ త్రూ ద కెపాసిటర్ ప్లేట్స్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ పాజిటివ్ టు నెగటివ్ చార్జ్. ఓకే, హియర్ ఎప్పుడైతే మనం సోర్స్ ని అప్లై చేస్తామో దెన్ ద చార్జెస్ ఆర్ డిస్ప్లేస్డ్. సో దెన్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ పాజిటివ్ టు నెగటివ్ చార్జెస్. అది తెలుసు కదా మీకు? హియర్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ పాజిటివ్ టు నెగటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఇన్ దిస్ డైరెక్షన్. ఓకే రైట్, సో ఇటువంటి ఒక ప్యారలల్ ప్లేట్ కెపాసిటర్ లో, అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎప్పుడైతే మనం డిసి సోర్స్ అప్లై చేసామో సో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, ఓకే, డ్యూ టు ద passage of charges here electric field produces. So the electric field is always from positive to negative charges. Electric field direction positive to negative charges ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, అటువంటి ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ లో ఒక కెపాసిటర్ ప్లేట్ ని ప్లేస్ చేసాం, సారీ ఒక డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మెటీరియల్ ని ప్లేస్ చేసాం. సో డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మెటీరియల్ అంటే ఏంటి? దట్ ఈస్ ఎన్ ఇన్సులేటింగ్ మెటీరియల్. ఓకే, ఇన్సులేటింగ్ మెటీరియల్ లో ఈ పాజిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి? బౌండ్ అయిపోయి ఉంటాయి. సపోజ్ ఒక మాలిక్యూల్ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఆ మాలిక్యూల్ లో పాజిటివ్ చార్జ్ నెగిటివ్ చార్జ్ రెండు బౌండ్ అయిపోయి ఉంటాయి. సో అటువంటి నంబర్ ఆఫ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ ఈ పర్టికులర్ మెటీరియల్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే, సో డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మెటీరియల్ లో. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, దీస్ ఆర్ ద పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ accumulated on one side of the capacitor plate, and these are the negative charges accumulated on either side of the capacitor plates. Okay, so these positive charges, ఈ పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఇందులో కూడా మాలిక్యూల్ లో పాజిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్ అనేవి బౌండ్ అయిపోయాయి. సో ఈ నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఎటువైపు అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాయి? పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ వైపు. ఓకే క్లియర్. అలాగే పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఎటువైపు అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాయి? నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్ వైపు. ఆల్రెడీ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి కదా కెపాసిటర్ ప్లేట్స్ మీద. So here the negative charges gets attracted towards the positive charges of the capacitor plate, and the positive charges within the material, dielectric material, gets attracted towards the negative charges. Okay, clear? So then what is the direction? So due to the separation of the charges here, electric field induces. ఎప్పుడైతే చార్జ్ గెట్స్ సెపరేట్ అవుతాయో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది మనకి ప్రెజెంట్ అవుతుంది. Okay, due to the separation here the electric field presence. సో ఇక్కడ ఈఐ అని ఎందుకు చెప్పామంటే ఈ చార్జెస్ వల్ల ఇండ్యూస్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఈఐ అని చెప్తున్నాం, ఇండ్యూస్డ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఇండ్యూస్డ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి? సో ఫ్రమ్ పాజిటివ్ టు నెగిటివ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? సో ఈ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, అంటే మనం అప్లై చేసాం. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఇండ్యూస్డ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్. సో పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ నెగిటివ్, సో దీని డైరెక్షన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి? యాజ్ పర్ దిస్ వన్, పాజిటివ్ టు నెగిటివ్ అండ్ దిస్ డైరెక్షన్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అండ్ దిస్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ both are in opposite direction. Okay, so here the external electric field E naught and the induced electric field EI both are in opposite direction. And this, okay, so మనం strength of the electric field, external electric field increase చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి, then ఏమవుతుంది? EI కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. Okay, which opposes this one. both are in opposite direction, and this induced electric field opposes the external electric field. Okay, so but it is very less as compared to the external electric field as per ఇక్కడ చెప్పాను కదా. ఓకే, ఇది అర్థమైందా? నెగిటివ్ పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఎందుకు టువర్డ్స్ అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాయో. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. ఓకే, ఇదొక మాలిక్యూల్ అనుకుంటే, సో మాలిక్యూల్ లో ఈ చార్జెస్ సపరేట్ అవుతాయి. సో డ్యూ టు ద అప్లికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, సో నెగిటివ్ చార్జ్ gets towards attracted by the positive charges on the capacitor plates, and positive charges gets attracted towards the negative charges on the capacitor plates. Okay, these two are positive and negative charges are gets separated. So due to the separation here, the dipole arises and net dipole moment present in the material. Dipole moment means the product of the either of the charge into distance between these two. But here this distance is very small, r is very small, so that these charges are gets bounded. Okay, these charges are gets bounded. Okay, right? ఏమో అర్థమైందా? రైట్. సో ఇది మళ్ళీ చెప్పనా ఒకసారి. టైం అయిపోయినట్టుంది, మరి మీకు నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఉందా? ఇదేగా చెప్తున్నాం, పోలరైజేషన్ ఈక్వల్ టు సర్ఫేస్ చార్జ్ డెన్సిటీ. ఇదేగా ఇప్పుడు చెప్పుకుంటున్నాం. ఓకే, అయితే ఇది మళ్ళీ రేపు క్లాస్ లో మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేస్తానండి. ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ ఏం లేదా 11 తర్వాత? ఓకే, రైట్. జస్ట్ ఏం లేదమ్మా, ఇక్కడ దీన్ని డివైడ్ చేసాం. జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్ హియర్ the slab is divided into identical cells. Okay, small cells here divided into identical cells. Okay, here the charges induced in each cell are bounded. So due to the presence of external electric field, here the charges are separated, and these charges are bound charges and are not free to migrate through the dielectric. So the bound charges on the walls of the adjacent cells cancel throughout leaving the charges on the opposite faces of the dielectric slab. So here chudandi, due to the presence of the electric field, here these are gets separated. Okay, then what happens here? This one is positive, this one is negative, positive, negative. So then here the adjacent side of the charges gets cancelled. ఈ చార్జెస్ అన్ని కూడా ఇది పాజిటివ్, ఇది నెగిటివ్. సో సపరేట్ అయ్యాయి కదా. సో ఈ రెండు కూడా గెట్స్ క్యాన్సిల్ విత్ ఈచ్ అదర్, క్యాన్సిల్ త్రూ అవుట్, లీవింగ్ ద చార్జెస్ ఆన్ ద ఆపోజిట్ ఫేసెస్ ఆఫ్ ద డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ స్లాబ్. సో దెన్ no net charge exists in any volume element located in the interior of the slab. Okay, thus it is clear from figure 4b, it is clear from figure 4b that the charge remains on the layer nearest to the boundary of the slab and contributes to the polarization charge of surface charge density sigma b. Okay, then what happens here? చూడండి, ఈ పాజిటివ్ చార్జ్, నెగిటివ్ చార్జ్, పాజిటివ్ చార్జ్, నెగిటివ్ చార్జ్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయాయి. అలాగే ఇవి కూడా క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయాయి. ఓకే, దెన్ మనకి ఇంకా మిగిలినవి ఏంటి? ఈ పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ అలాగే ఈ నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ చూస్తే చూడండి 4b లో చూస్తే దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద నెగిటివ్ చార్జెస్ విచ్ ఆర్ నియరర్ టు ద layer of the dielectric material, surface of the dielectric material, whereas these are all the positive charges which are on the surface of the dielectric slab. Okay, and contributes to the polarization charge of the charge density sigma p. Okay, these charges only contributes the surface charge density, that is sigma p. Okay, so the sigma p is due to these charges present on the either side of the dielectric slab. So the polarized dielectric is thus equivalent to a big dipole of equal and opposite induced charges separated by a distance. So now the polarized dielectric is thus equal to a big dipole. So ivanni chudandi, only these charges are there. And these positive charges are there. So these two charges acts as a big dipole. Okay, so due to these charges here the surface charge density is present, that is sigma p. So thus equivalent to big dipole equal to opposite induced charges separated by a distance d. So here the distance is d. Now which is the thickness of the slab? Okay, so here d is also, you know that is the thickness of the slab. Okay, so due to here the separation of the charges contributes a big dipole of having surface charge density sigma p is equal to d. Okay, thickness of the slab. So the dipole moment of the entire slab is given by, okay, dipole moment of the entire slab is given by mu is equal to A into sigma p into d. Okay, mu is equal to A into sigma p into d. Okay, where, so mu అనేది ఏంటి? What is mu here? Dipole moment. So dipole moment ఏమంటాము? The product of the either of the charge into distance between the two charges. అంతే కదా mu? So therefore mu ని ఏమని రాసుకోవచ్చు? Mu is equal to the product of the either of the charge ఏంటి? That is A into sigma p. Okay, ఇక్కడ q దేనికి ఈక్వల్? This one, A into sigma p into d. D is the distance between the two slab. That is nothing but r kada ikkada. Okay, మనం ఏమనుకున్నాం ఇక్కడ? So here the charges accumulated on either of the charges, these whole charges contributes a big dipole of having r. R is equal to thickness of the slab, that is d. Okay, ఇక్కడ q is equal to sigma p into A. A is the area of the slab, dielectric slab. So that is equal to mu is equal to that is nothing but q into d. అంతే కదా, q into r కదా, magnitude of the either of the charge into r. So r అనేది దేనికి ఈక్వల్ ఇక్కడ? d. Okay, so q is equal to A into sigma p. So therefore mu is equal to A into sigma p into d, where A is the area of the surface of the slab. So therefore mu is equal to A into d. What is A into d? Volume of the slab. Area into thickness, that is volume, sigma p into v. So we know that polarization P is equal to mu by v. That dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization. So P is equal to mu by v. So dipole moment per unit volume. Therefore P is equal to mu అంటే ఎంత ఇక్కడ మనకి? Sigma p v by v. So v cancel అయిపోతే P is equal to sigma p. Polarization P is equal to sigma p. Okay, so thus polarization is equal to surface charge density. So polarization ఏదైతే ఉందో అది దేనికి ఈక్వల్? That is equal to surface charge density of induced charges in a dielectric. So therefore polarization in a dielectric is a vector directed from negative inducer charges to positive inducer charges. Negative inducer charge to positive inducer charge. It produces in the dielectric a field EI which is in opposite in the direction to the external field, and therefore weakens it. Okay, clear? అర్థమయ్యాయి ఈక్వేషన్ సార్? ఓకే మా. Okay, shall I close the class?